introduced this car as a show chassis. They showed the chassis, and they thought, there's no way he's actually going to build this car. It's too low, it's too compact, not going to happen. The next year he shows up with one outside the casino in Monte Carlo, the Grand Prix weekend. He's had it parked out there, came out in the middle of the night, got into the car with a beautiful young woman, and drove off. They had 200 orders the next day. And first in class, the 6C, is a 1975 Lamborghini Urraco. Not a V12, and very, very rare to see, and certainly rarer to see in this kind of condition.
And I absolutely love this color combination, the dark slate gray with the red interior, and of course that white Bakelite steering wheel. Just what a great period look, even right down to the white wall tires. Congratulations.
In Class 10C is the 1969 Jaguar XKE. The 140 MC Coupe.
He's got a fan club.
And this car is a very rare optional hardtop, which is great to see. And it looks absolutely stunning in black.
And this is if you couldn't decide if you wanted a coupe or a roadster, you got a roadster and the optional removable hardtop. 1957 DB2/4 Mark III. There we go.
First place award. Beautiful cars. One of the most beautiful Ferraris, or frankly any car, of the 1960s. The 275 GTB.
Typically 1952 for our first place winner.
I love these early Ferraris, and I love 1950s Italian coachwork. This is the 1952 212 Inter, the most beautiful early Ferraris that there is. And I have to say that, in all truth, I love these cars because they really are race cars in really, really, really lovely suits.
And up next is a very special car in this category, a 1964 Porsche 901. Notice we didn't say 911, it's the 901. And Don, there's a great reason why the car was called the 901, and then, oh, wait a minute, and then it became the 911, and it had something to do with some French people.
Exactly. The Peugeot company, first place, the Peugeot company had registered and trademarked all of the numbers regarding an automobile with a 0 in the middle. Think 204, 404, 403, 504, and much to Porsche's chagrin, or chagrin, shall we say, they were forced to change the model after they had printed brochures and the entire thing had become the 911 instead of the 901. And there are many, 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 look very carefully at this car, there are many design details that changed from the very earliest of cars to the later 911 as it came through in 1965 and 66.
But this is the one, and history changed forever. Now the 911 is just such a name synonymous with Porsche. Here comes our first place Corvette. It's a 1953 Corvette, so guess what? That means it's white, because all the 53 Corvettes were white.
Look at that wonderful dealer plate on the front. Another new guaranteed Chevrolet.
53 Corvettes had an inline 6 called the Blue Flame with the triple carburetors and making somewhere around 150 horsepower, going through a 2-speed Power Glide automatic transmission. It wasn't until later years the Corvettes would get some more serious performance under their hoods.
That car is also spectacularly restored.
And those 53 Corvettes are pretty much hand-built, and they're kind of a craft center. They didn't even move on a regular assembly line, and thus only 300 were made.
This is my favorite Cobra, the early 289 cars.
Call me a purist, but I kind of like these a little better. I like the narrow white, the narrow fender wells and the narrower tires, the wire wheels.
And the painted wire wheels too, I think.
More often the way you would have seen them back in the day if you were looking.
Absolutely wonderful, wonderful car.
Very nice. The nether cuts. Elegance Award pre-war, yep. Maybe Jeff Spellins can take it out there and give it to the nether cuts. There's another ample trophy case, I'm sure. There we go. I love Jack and Helen, always have the best hats. They look like they belong in the car.